I got an idea, Alan. I'm getting crazy.
Oh,
What?
good Lord.
You
Really? What's different now?
Huh? I'm just so excited. No, I got tons
You're
of
always
ideas.
excited.
I am. I tell you what, we've had a lot of great guests on, and this one is going to be even more fun.
I
But
know because he sent you a toy.
he did a lot of toys, and you're going to hear me.
You threw some of them at me.
I did already, and you even said I'm going to take that away from you if you keep that up in the podcast.
I
I'm
know.
like, no, no, no. I've got to
You
keep going.
do not need another distraction.
So here we are, man, talking about ideas, and that's what I am. I mean, you know what? I just have ideas, right? I'm an idea guy. That's my job, right?
Okay.
Yeah. No, shit doesn't happen like that. So I tried that line
You
just
keep
the other day.
thinking that.
I did. I just pulled that one yesterday on another guy about another vertical we're thinking about getting into. Well, not thinking, we're going to get into, and that's to work in the aging in place space for the biz. And I said, look, I'm glad I got you on the phone. Here's what you need to do. And I told him all the three things I need him to do to build the marketing for me so I can start doing the work for him.
And
I'm just the idea guy.
were you calling him from Vegas?
No, actually,
Because it doesn't go over as well, I'm sure, when you're dictating to your minions from your yacht.
right.
Or
So this time I was calling him from Keo Island.
The
And
Bellagio.
I did. So this one is very quaint, right? This is a family island. Of course, that's where Nikki Haley has her place. There's a couple other well-known people that were there as well. That, of
Have you
course,
played the ocean course?
I have.
How many balls did you lose?
I see there are 18 holes.
Yeah. Seriously.
Seriously, the last time I played it, I think I lost 6.
That's actually impressive.
It
I mean,
was,
that's the
and it was
most scary looking golf course I've ever seen. And you
you,
almost feel like you're underwater
well, you feel like you're underwater, and then when you play, if you've ever played the ocean course, which is where they've had a number of PGA events,
in a Ryder
is that
Cup.
they actually build in the Ryder Cup, they build up the fairway. So if you go off the fairway, you have to go down a series of steps, and literally, it's like a flight of stairs. You go down, and so when you look at the fairway, you're like, so if I'm 2 feet off the fairway, I'm going down like into the basement and trying to come out of there. And you want to talk about being dialed in or just out of your freaking mind scared. It's good. And so so this time when I went down there this weekend, all I did was go out there and putt with my buddy in my bare feet and went back and drank at the clubhouse, watching everybody else come in going, oh, you poor suckers. And you're just smiling. I love that you're smiling after a $650 round
Wow.
that takes 5.5 hours. So it's kind of like a Pebble Beach kind of thing, right? It's a moment. And so I haven't played it in a long time because it's so maddening as a golfer who's not playing very well right now. I just like, nah. But the good news was for me, it rained the whole time I was there, as I was telling this other guy about his great marketing idea that he needs to do for me. And we're meeting next week, so he can tell me all the things he's doing since I told him what
For
to do.
you.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, well, that's why we're here, right?
To serve you.
Okay.
It's all about Big Daddy.
That's right. Let's get back into this. Daniel Den, the Rainmaker, has a book out there called Ideas That Influence. I'm going to put that up. That's for our YouTube audience. If you haven't checked us out on our YouTube channel, which is blowing up, by the way, everybody, you want to go see us online because one of us may be really animated on YouTube and the other one might just be sitting there watching the guy who's pretty animated. And I keep telling Alan, man, can you calm it down just a little bit? I mean, for the love of God, Alan, please. So Daniel,
It's all about balance. I just want the listeners to look at the mind of Chris. The book is like twisted like this. How long have you had it? A week? 2 weeks?
So Daniel did a
You got all
great,
these
really
notes. You
cool
got
thing.
it's like the beautiful mind scribbles all over it.
I did. I scribbled all over it. I got sticky notes there. I actually had a pad going with all my notes
You
in it.
must have liked it though.
I did. I tell you what, this is a good book, everybody. Ideas That Influence. It's an easy read, and I mean that in the best possible way. Daniel, you didn't dumb it down. Okay, maybe a little bit, but you did do a lot of historical references in there and told some really great stories.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, and that's what keeps your attention, right? So Daniel Den, we've been talking the whole time. Thank you for coming on. Tell us how the hell you came up with this book.
Yeah. Oh, we have a guest.
Alan and Chris, thank you.
Cheers.
And speaking of Vegas, because you guys mentioned it, it's just an honor to be able to split eights with you guys. Cha-ching!
Let's
Great.
go.
Nice.
All right, Dan, you brought it up. All right, I got to tell you the story. You ready? I'm out there. Last time I was out in Vegas. I was on a heater, had a great run out there with the boys, NFL weekend. The last night I'm playing and I've been up and I was like, okay, cool. I'm just going to settle in. And I was like, literally like 2 or 3 hands away from going home, going to bed and being up.
A winner.
I did a winner.
You would have been a winner.
I would have. I got 8s. I split them like you're supposed to. She's showing, she the dealer, was showing a 4. I split the 8s. Here we go.
Evil.
I get another 8. I split again.
Suddenly there's a little bit of a stir in the crowd.
Oh, and my boys over there are like, you have to. And then I get an 8, and then I get he dealt me a 2. Got a double.
Got a double.
So I doubled down. At that point, the entire table went, oh. And the 2 guys I'm with, who are friends from Michigan that I only see like, once or twice a year, are with me. And this is like the last time we're going to be together. So just remember that. So down goes to 10. Boom. I get, so I got 10. I double down. Shows I get 7. So I got 17. We come over to the other 8. 10. I get 18. Looking good, right? Go to the next one. Another double down card. I got an ace. Instead of taking the 19 like I should have, I double down again. She pulls. You ready?
Yeah.
4. She shows
6.
Yeah. She then pulls
ace.
No, she pulled 19. Yeah, so I lost it.
All of them.
All of them.
Oh.
So I looked up, I went, fuck you. And I walked away from the table. And I never talked to my friends until I texted the next morning going, hey, did you make your flight?
Wow.
So Daniel, thank you for coming here and splitting 8s with us, buddy. And we are not walking away losers. And I am not going to end this episode telling Daniel, hey, did you make your
until
flight?
next time.
So Daniel the Rainmaker, Ideas That Influence. Talk to us about this book and why you came up with it.
Well, so speaking of, you made the joke that you're an ideas guy, but obviously with the trusted toolbox and everything that both of you do, obviously you guys are massive action takers. So for my whole life, like I've been just like really good at coming up with ideas. And when it comes to the marketing side of things, I come up with amazing marketing ideas, and I'm super creative. And I thought that everybody sat around all day and came up with great ideas for marketing.
And you realize, no, wait a minute. This is kind of unique.
Yeah. And I was like, I actually have to figure out, because everything that I've done over the past 10 years, I'm basically a business coach, and we help people with our X Factor Effect methodology. But and we have over 20,000 students and clients. And I figured out, like, I have to figure out how to teach creativity when it comes to the marketing side, because we have too many people, like students of our own, where we're telling them, hey, you got to do things differently. Like it's got to be creative. It's got to, break through the noise. It's got to be exciting, whatever. Like we've got like all these things that we're teaching, and just mediocre stuff just kept on being put out. So I was like, we have to come up with a process. Like we have to show people, like, here is, from A to Z, how to come up with wildly successful marketing ideas that break through the noise, that are exciting, that captivate the attention of your dream customers. And so about 6 years ago, I was sitting around with my business partner down in Brazil, and we came up with this methodology.
No, hang on. No, whoa.
Big Daddy hasn't been to Brazil yet.
Whoa, dude.
Oh,
I
you're
know.
a travel agent.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
Where the hell were you in Brazil?
Oh, well, I've been to, I don't know. I've been all over Brazil. I've been to Brazil probably 15 times. So.
All right, color me jealous. All right, continue with your story. You and your business partner.
He's not going to listen to a thing you say from now on.
In fact,
he's just
right
thinking,
now,
okay.
actually, I just grabbed my phone and go, why the hell have I not been to Brazil? I'm on the phone with Amex right now. No, I'm back. All right, so you're down there. You guys are talking about.
Most of the time when I go down to Sao Paulo, but I've been to lots of other states as well. I've been up to the Northeast. I've been to Rio. I've been to Bahia. I've been to lots of other places.
You speak Portuguese?
I speak Portuguese. Yeah.
Whoa. Well, that's a
yeah. There you go.
Well, that helps.
He's way cooler than we are and better looking, Chris. Way to go.
I know.
I feel like crap now.
Every time, right?
Every time. I know.
time.
I go home just humiliated.
Right. So I got one word in Portuguese. Actually, it is clean. Bom dia.
There you go.
Bom
dia.
Good morning.
Oh.
Bom dia, boa tarde.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Since this afternoon, it's boa tarde. Boa tarde.
Boa tarde. Okay.
Now you know two. Now you know
All
two
right.
phrases.
All right. So
Which is technically now you know 3 words because boa is good, and then gia is day, morning. Oh, now you know multiple, and then targi is afternoon. So there you go. Now you know like 4 words. There you go.
no, I'm going to
This
put that
thing,
on my resume, and I'm
Portuguese
also
is
multilingual.
easy.
I'm conversant
It is
in
easy.
Portuguese.
Oh my gosh, so funny. But that's awesome that you actually. So all right. So I know the listeners are like, all right, Chris, can we get to the point? I mean, can we talk to the kid for a minute? Let's find out what the hell's going
No, it
on.
was kind of my fault.
Yeah. Well, let's go.
Well,
Shall we?
the
Yeah.
stories,
But I
are the fun
Brazil,
part.
Brazil. I've already written it down. Brazil must go.
There you go. The stories are the fun part. Like everybody that's listening, the reason why you guys love the Small Business Safari podcast is because Alan and Chris aren't going to bore you with a 20-step process on each episode. It's jam-packed of really exciting real life stories. And that's why people love the Small Business Safari podcast. That's just the truth. That's
Hey
the
man,
truth.
love that. All right, let's go back. So you're in Brazil. I got ideas, and you're telling your business partner, and is he not the idea guy? He's like,
No, he's
yeah.
an idea guy too. Like we've got tons of big ideas, but it just comes natural to us. Just absolutely like, hey, like here's an idea that'll work. All right, let's test it. Okay, it worked, right? And then we tell our students, all right, make sure it's different what you're doing, and that it's different in the right way that your dream customers love. And like that's the standard. Like that's what's gonna work. That's what's gonna break through the noise. And you say that, and people don't know what to do. So
right, exactly, right, because you say that, but you're coming from the creative spot, and they're sitting there going, "I'm getting my dick kicked in every week trying to run my business. You're telling me to do something different. That's why I'm paying you, man. Tell me how to do something doing different. Make me laugh, funny guy." So
exactly. And so they're like, hey, you tell me the thing that's different.
right.
And we're like, what the hell, man? We can't be sitting around all day telling you the thing that's different because it's, you know your dream customers better than we do. So what are we gonna do? So we had to come up with this process. And it's through the process that we were able to basically show people through all these really cool stories and examples and a proven process that here's what the makeup is of creative and wildly successful marketing ideas. And here's a bunch of ways that you can come up with ideas, brainstorming by yourself and with your team. And then we can filter those ideas, and then we can pinpoint the winners based off of the elements that are the most likely to break through the noise, because that's another part of the problem. Hey, Daniel, Pedro, Alan, Chris, I've got 20 ideas. Which one's the one that's going to break through the noise? Well, first, we're not sure until you test. But second, there is a way to filter it. And so we had to kind of show people how to do it. So we had this event for mentoring students down in Brazil, and they just absolutely loved the process. Just like they were like, that was so incredible. And I was like, you know what? I think this is a book. And so I wrote the book, and inherently inside of the book, like it was amazing, amazing stories, amazing process. There we go. Ideas and influence. But I was like, you know what? The only problem with the book is that if I launch the book the same way that everybody else launches a book, then I'm not following what I teach in the book.
Look, on cue.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Look, I got the ideas because that's the first thing I did. I was like a
Can
little
you see
kid.
that the light is on?
All I'm doing is clicking the light. And when I first got the thing, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. You
Look, and I went like
you
this. I'm
cost
like,
Chris about a half hour of just clicking the light
I
bulb.
did. I swear to God. I got the thing open. I opened it. I'm like, oh my God. First of all, love the sticky notes. And that's what I did when I sent my book. I sent sticky notes to people saying, hey, use this. You can mark it up. But I started clicking the light that you sent us. And I was like a little.
I can only imagine when your folks got their first car that had power windows and locks. You must have freaking driven them nuts.
How about the first?
Those were some cool buttons. Those old silver buttons that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I got to ask a question. There's a lot of business people who are great operators, but may not consider themselves to be very creative. So what you're saying is you can take somebody who's never really had a creative bone in their body, but they're great operators, and you can run them through this process and think good ideas will come out of it.
I 100% agree. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%
Yes, especially if they involve their team. One of the first things we cover in the book is the mistake that a lot of business leaders make is they try to be that charismatic leader that's the ideas person and the only font of this, godlike guidance. And they think that they're the only ones that can come up with the good ideas. Well, the
That
truth
hitting a little
is,
close to home, Chris?
I don't know what you're talking about. My name, by the way, they call me Zeus. Hello. I'm Catholic too, so you may call me the beginning, the end, and the afterlife. I am the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Thank you very much. But no, I do listen to my people. Keep going. So operators need to include their team to get great ideas. So let's go.
yeah. And I'd say if you're the type of CEO that's one of the most successful types of CEOs or business owners, that's the most successful type, you actually are good at listening to your team because your team is just this incredible fountain of ideas.
That's a hard thing, but that's a gold nugget. As you build your team, and especially as you're a small entrepreneur, when you start at the beginning, you don't get a team. When I started, I was a team of one, and now I have 35 people in my company, but I consider my team 21 strong because I bring them in to do things. You're right, and so you got to involve your team. You got to know when to do that. But it's also a humble pie thing
Yeah,
where
it
you got to
takes some
sit back.
professional maturity, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
You've got to sit back and let everybody else talk before you talk. And that's a big one. And I think that the gold nugget there is you got to get your team using their brain because they're going
Yeah.
to tell you something you didn't even think about. Yeah, cool.
Well, and if the idea comes from the team, then there's more likelihood of buy-in from the team.
Oh yeah.
All right.
The buy-in factor. There's so many reasons why
That was a dud.
I
That's
thought it was a good
I know,
point.
but
that was a nugget. I know that
It-
was a nugget.
No, it was so good. I just stunned you both.
that's what it was.
Yeah.
We were stunned like a shark in the water when you touched my nose. I just stopped. All right.
Whoa.
So you get
Body.
these, you get your you call them your not your clients. What'd you call those guys? Your students, but they're CEOs of their own company. And so in their domain, they have to be the king of the jungle. They have to be the dominant. You teach them to get the creative process rolling. Do you teach them they have to sit in the back a little bit and kind of listen to everybody else's ideas?
Well, that's one of the big like aha moments inside the book. We actually talk about studies where the most successful business owners and CEOs, they are a little bit more on the introverted side. And as a result, they listen more. They let their team talk more. Let their team lead more. And overall, it makes for more ideas that get heard and more collaboration within your own organization. So that's just one of like,
You know what Chris heard there was blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, you know what I heard is that, oh, you know what? Weak CEOs don't like to talk. I'm like, you know what you said? No, all jokes aside, Alan has been awesome on this. And when I do strategic offsite meetings and then quarterly updates with my team, I actually channel what Alan has talked about. He is admittedly an extroverted introvert. So
Gregarious introvert.
Gregarious introvert. So when I go there, I absolutely shut down and let them go, and they don't know what to do. So I have to preface it the whole thing with, guys, if you think I'm going to jump in like I do during the day at work, I'm not. I said, I'm sitting back because I need your beautiful minds to tell me what I'm missing. I said, and today, nothing you say will be wrong. Today, if you want to say I'm an idiot, I said, don't worry, I've already told you guys all that, but I want you to tell me what's the best thing. And it starts in the beginning, especially a couple of newer people, kind of like, not sure, not sure. And then they
yeah.
say something that's like really controversial and they look at me and usually, right, the damn it dolls, but I'm over there going, mm-hmm. And I'm listening because that's where that comes out, right? That's where creativity happens.
Yeah, 100%. There's a great book called Creativity Inc. Ed Catmull. Oh my goodness. He talks about the concept of the brain trust. At least I believe that's what he names it, the brain trust, Creativity Inc. And it's that whole concept that like we want all these big juicy like ideas so that we can throw them all together and then we can start to filter. And then inside of the book, and the entire box experience that we send people along with the book. That's where we say where we then go into the process side of things with tons of examples and everything, and we show like the 7 main elements of what great ideas that break through the noise look like, what great marketing pieces that break through the noise, what they look like.
Right. So this is the big thing, because we've been talking about it, and I'm waiting for you to do this, because that's the thing I've really loved about your book and the interactive part of this is that it is easy for people who are creative to say, "Hey, man, you got to be creative," and it's really easy for you to tell people, "Hey, by the way, if you want to be creative, get your team involved and then sit back." But no, let me show you some examples, and let me give you some things you can play with your team, and you get them interactive, and that's the part that starts to get, I think for me, I was like, oh man, I'm totally I was just loving this stuff, which is why I beat the shit out of this book, as I read it at the beach looking for Nikki Haley. But and no, I just, yeah,
Can
I
you
think,
imagine what you'd be looking for if you were in a beach in Brazil?
yeah, not gonna be looking for a
Mm.
whole lot. That's why I asked about Brazil, and then I don't have to tell my wife I went, right?
I don't think so.
Good, perfect. That's what I want. And everything that happens in Brazil stays in
Can you
Brazil,
can you
like
give us
Vegas.
a couple cool
No,
examples
that's
of
Vegas. That's Vegas.
Oh,
give us a couple cool examples of some ideas that have come up,
yeah,
creative ideas, just for our listeners to
yeah.
go, oh,
Yeah, take an example of one you've done, and you're like, and you boom, you saw something. Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, the first time we did one of our big events down in Brazil, we were able to get 1,000 people in a room, and we eventually the biggest event that we were able to do was for 7,400 people, and I got this really cool thing, this picture that everybody still just talks about and loves today. I still have students coming up to me and talking about how I did this amazing rap song on stage, and during the speech I got 3 standing ovations during the speech, rapping on stage and doing all this cool stuff. So
I did not know we had Eminem in the house.
yeah, well,
Daniel Den, Eminem.
I'm telling you right
Portuguese
now, if you start
version.
rapping, I'm not
I can't.
co-hosting the
I
podcast
can't.
anymore.
You-
You would try it though.
but
I know you would.
Of course I would.
Sorry, go ahead.
no, well, I want to hear, you know what?
No, you don't.
No,
Don't.
yeah, I
No,
really can't do it. No, I watch. I think Eminem is actually a poet, and rap, again, in this form
He's
and
a
what it's
genius.
about is
He's a
great. So,
genius.
but Daniel Den rapping, I want to hear Daniel Den, Eminem. So, all right, so you get up there and started rapping in front of people. Were you
Yeah.
ready for that, or you get it planned out?
Oh, we planned the whole thing out. It was incredible. People still talk about it today. That was right. That was in 2020, right before the pandemic hit. But the big thing people ask us is, how did you go from first big event that you did? How did you get 1,000? And then how'd you eventually get 7,400? And so there's an there's an answer to what we did, and we talk about it inside of the book, and I actually don't even use it as an example inside of the book. But what we did was we created what we call a core belief, and we sold that core belief to our audience before we asked them to buy any of our products or services or come to any of our events. And when I talk about this concept of selling an idea to your dream customers before asking them to buy, some people say, well, I like the direct marketing approach. I'm a Dan Kennedy fan, whatever it is. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm a massive Dan Kennedy fan as well, and I love direct marketing. Like, I want to sell you as fast as possible. But direct marketing did not build our movement of over 2 million people on social media. It did not get us 7,400 people in the room. Selling a core belief to our audience and having them adopt that idea that we sold them before getting them to buy our products and services. That's what grew the tribe, that grew the following. And then that's what helped us sell like crazy. And that's what helped us get so many people into our events. And that's what helped us build this massive tribe. So to finish this example, now people are like, well, what's the core belief that you sold them? What's an example of this core belief? The core belief we sold was pretty simple. The way to become a leader in your market or a category king or a category queen is by differentiating your business. That was the whole belief. And that's why we created this whole X factor effect methodology. And that's what like grew our whole movement. So when we had people start adopting that belief and believing that the key to becoming a market leader was to differentiate your business and to stack those differences in a way where you become a unicorn in your market, a unicorn that your dream customers love. When we got people to adopt that belief before they bought from us, then they said, okay, I believe, okay, differentiation is the key. Everything you're talking about with the X factor effect is the key. So now help me, because I lack, the know-how or the creativity or whatever. Now help me to stack my differences that make a difference. Help me to stand out in the sea of sameness so that I can become that market leader that I want to become. So that was how we did it personally. And that's one big example of
Ellen's supposed to be picking up that I'm writing all this down, and you're supposed to be talking. Because, dude, you want to talk about unicorns? I mean, it's like unicorn farts. You can't find them. Be the unicorn.
Did you just say unicorn fart?
Yeah, that's even more
rare. It's more rare than a unicorn.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Didn't think about that.
Right.
How much does that sell for by the bottle? That
right.
Is rare.
Which reminds me of a meme I just saw on social media. It says me. So, Dana, do you have kids?
Yeah, 4 kids.
You have 4. Oh my God!
Wow, and you got all your hair and everything.
Oh,
look at you.
Yeah, well, I filled it in with those fiber things, so that's my trick. Those fibers. Yeah, I cheat. So
actually, my uncle way back when used the hairspray.
Yeah,
spray the hair
like silly string.
Oh no, do you remember this? So I'm old, and my uncle's even older, and he was losing his hair like I have. My father still has a full head of hair.
He does.
W7.
Sam's just rocking
it.
Yeah.
Right. So he sprays he buys this thing off the back in the day when you only had like 4 channels, and this will be the who's the guy who always did all the
Ronco.
Oh, wait, there's more.
Ronco.
Yeah. So he buys it. So I go to his house, and he had sprayed his head. So and so I grew up in Michigan, and my uncle's in Buffalo, New York. We're there in Buffalo, New York, and it got warm, and we're there, and all the family. So we're an Italian family. Everybody comes over for Sunday dinner, right? And we were there, so it was a big deal because Sammy's kids were there. My dad's name was Sam. I was the kid, and he had sprayed his head. Well, it got hot, and they were grilling, and he starts leaking. And dude, it's streaming down his head, going through his nose, coming through his forehead. I was like, you know what? I'm never going to be that guy. And I was Mr. Comb Over for a long time until I went on TV.
Oh, I need to see a picture of the comb over.
Oh,
you got one?
Oh yeah, go to Trustdale TV. That's when it was on. That's when I went. All right, I'm done. But back to a unicorn. So Daniel, oh my gosh, 4 kids. So this meme that I saw was, before you had kids, I will never lie to my kids. I will always be right. I will not be that dad. Me after 2 kids, and I had 2. You know what? I just had a conversation with Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, the Power Rangers, and Spider-Man. And they said, if you don't start acting right, I'm going to have to take out another unicorn.
Excellent.
And I'm like, absolutely. You want to talk about, you know what? Before I was a dad, I would never lie to my kids. I will always tell them the truth. I will always be right. After you have kids, you're like, nah, it's going down. Why? Because there's unicorns out there that might die. I would say it all day long.
Really?
I did.
It's cold.
I was. Hey, I could have hit him. I didn't. What? I did. All right. So back to Daniel and his creative ideas. I just killed the creative.
I'm trying to remember why you threw the balls at me.
All right, Daniel. So back to the book. This book, and by the way, everybody, you can get it, Ideas That Influence. We'll pitch it all later. You can buy the book and the interactive book experience, or you can go online, and you can do this yourself. But one of the things that we've talked about that I'm going to talk about it for him.
Okay,
for just a minute. So
that's the way you like it,
right? Because it's Bobby. So Daniel, the idea we're talking about is one idea, easy to catch. Couple ideas,
balls. Yeah,
you catch them.
That's why you threw the balls at Alan.
And I did. I threw 15 of them at once.
And I caught like 3.
And I did. I said, dude, catch my balls. I'm like, and I said that right in front of this lady. I'm like, I don't mean it like that.
He did.
Did too. This lady
So
it
wait,
just literally just met us 5 minutes ago. And we found out later she used to teach middle school kids. I was like, Alan, catch my balls. I'm like, well, I don't mean it like that necessarily. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So what's
Off
the
to
idea here?
principal with you,
Oh, yeah, let's go.
mister?
So talk to us about the idea of one ball versus many balls.
the balls. So yeah, inside of the box experience, people get a bunch of bouncy balls. The experiments are really fun. If I throw you, Alan, one ball, the likelihood that you're going to catch that one ball
100%.
really, really high, like
Yeah.
97,
No,
98%.
I got hands.
Wow.
You
He's
got-
got hands. I mean,
It's 100. It's 100.
It's 100.
he's an athlete, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not saying.
Now, if I throw two at you at the same time, sometimes you get people that are like the athlete type and they'll catch both. A lot of the times people drop both, and sometimes people catch one. So two people do all right with. Now, the second you go 3 balls thrown at you at once, you usually drop all of them. If I throw you 6 balls all at once, you usually drop all of them. If I throw you 12 balls or 15 balls all at once, you usually drop all of them and catch none. And when you do catch something, it's usually one. That's what happens. The concept here is that we're all missing, because of the overload and the amount of information going on in the world, we all only have enough RAM inside our heads, random access memory, to focus on one thing at a time. There's just too much noise out there. And so when it comes to your marketing message, there's a quote I love from Perry Belcher. If any Perry Belcher fans out there, he taught this concept way back in the day, and I super appreciate it because it's like the one big thing that I remember learning from him. He said, if you try to sell your product or service and you try to pitch 2 or 3 big ideas instead of one in order to try to sell that product or service, then you usually cut your sales in half. So the trick is to just focus on one big idea, one big benefit. So for example, if I'm going to sell a weight loss program or a meal plan for that matter, I could say, hey, Alan, hey, Chris, so this meal plan, it's the reason why you want
Not
this
you,
is
me.
because it's low calorie, it's high protein, it's organic, and because it's paleo. All right, 4 things, right? If I try to sell you on all 4 of those big concepts all at the same time, it's low calorie, it's organic, it's high protein, and it's paleo, you're not gonna receive that message very well because I'm trying to throw too many big ideas at you at the same time. It's okay that my meal plan has those benefits, but if I try to sell you on all 4 of those big ideas at the same time, then I'm gonna at least cut my sales in half. Well, if I pick one of those, hey, it works because it's low calorie and I focus on that, it's low calorie. Or if I pick that, oh, it works because the paleo diet is amazing and this is why you should go paleo with our meal plan. If I focus on that one big idea, it's really easy for you to catch that idea, adopt that idea, and then buy my product or service as a consequence of you adopting that idea. So that's the whole concept of single focus. So every single time that people go out with their marketing messages, the large majority make this mistake of trying to sell multiple big ideas or concepts inside of their marketing campaigns, and instead of focusing on one big idea that people can easily adopt.
So it's hard because you just said pick one.
Yeah.
But
And
I
you'd
don't
be
wanna pick one.
because you'd be afraid you picked the wrong one.
You picked the wrong one and nobody's going to buy.
Yeah. And you've got lots more bullets in your gun.
Right. So I'm out there like a freaking howitzer. I mean, not a howitzer, what's the
Your Gatling gun. Yeah, that's right.
And so, but Daniel brings up a great point. We've talked about this all the time. The discipline of staying on one is so much harder than the ease of going really complicated and trying a million things.
But he said something very early on, which I was like, okay, he's a very creative guy and he comes up with a great idea all the time and then he tests it. And I think a lot of the people out there who maybe aren't as creative, and then maybe they come up with they might be afraid to test it. But okay, so you've got 4 or 5 things that are pretty good about your business, and you focus on one. Talk to me about what that test looks like, and then at what point do you, cut bait and move to the next one?
Yeah. Well, we talk about um, 7 big elements for wildly successful marketing campaigns inside of the book. And so when you filter through all of your ideas, let's say your ideas are low calorie, paleo, organic, high protein, right? What you want to do is, and obviously that's a really broad, that's not a full idea in and of itself, but you get the idea. So we teach the 7 elements. And what we do inside of the book is we say, hey, let's rank these ideas based off of the elements that are proven to work. And if you have 5, 6, or 7 of the elements, then you're pretty much in a good spot to test. And there's a really high chance that that marketing message is going to break through the noise. So before we even have people throw money at anything, we say, hey, let's make sure it has enough of the right elements of a winning marketing message. And then once you've figured out what your best ideas are, then let's go through that testing process and let's do a minimum viable product, but applied to your marketing. So minimum viable product in the sense of, hey, let's just do like a mini test for your marketing campaign and see if it does actually catch the attention of your dream customers. And then once you see what is sticking, what's working, then you start to scale it from there.
Do you help people figure out what their dream customer is? Because you've mentioned dream customers a number of times.
Yeah, we do. The book covers that in a small way, but one of our big things with the X Factor effect methodology, and it's actually the first thing, it's the boring thing that everybody talks about is, yes, you do have to dial in your avatar. And that's why you hear everybody talking about it whenever they jump on the podcast. They're
You
like,
just gave Chris the warm fuzzies using
you're like, oh, you got to do the avatar
why do you-
Oh,
first.
look at the circles in the book.
Why do you think I kept reading his book? He used my term, baby, avatar, because I have
Is it your term now? Did you just usurp the term?
You know what? Back to the internet. I am Al Gore. I developed the internet. I developed the term avatar. I even got you laugh on that one. I knew that would be good.
It's unavoidable though, right, Alan and Chris? Like the whole avatar concept. If you don't dial that in first, like why? Like sometimes it's like, why even bother with any other step in any other process? Because
Well, how specific should that avatar be?
how specific should it be? Well, you know,
Because so I'm a plumber, and anybody that needs plumbing is my avatar, right?
Bullshit.
Ooh, let's use an example. Now, wait.
Yeah.
Well, you're not a plumber.
He's going to go back to a fat example.
Everybody,
Watch
if
this,
you're
or a bald
confused-
example.
If you're confused, Alan, he does commercial real estate. He's not a plumber. But if Alan was a plumber,
Not a plumber. by the
Thank
way.
you.
Actually, he's very handy, but okay.
if Alan was a plumber, I love to use the example of Benjamin Franklin Plumbing. You guys have that in Atlanta?
Don't have, well, yeah, they're here, but know the concept and know the people who started it. Yep.
Okay, so Benjamin Franklin Plumbing, one of the easiest ways that they have niched down is their avatar is people that need plumbing, that care about the freaking plumber being on time. They are the punctual plumber. They've got this amazing guarantee where for every minute they are late, they will pay you $5, and they'll pay you up. It goes up to like $500 or something, their guarantee. So they are the punctual plumber. They are pretty much always on time because they will pay you money or discount your service, however you look at that. And so their avatar is the people that care more about the plumber being on time rather than the price, which is just the most genius avatar in the world when it comes to plumbing, because who cares about the plumber being on time the most? The affluent customer. But yep, exactly.
Time is money. Time is money.
Chris, the affluent customer, cares the most about that plumber being punctually on time. So in addition to that, the whole appearance, the whole avatar for Benjamin Franklin Plumbing is dialed in even better because of the way they have their team present themselves and the way they interact with the customer. And to give you a quick example, it is required for the plumbers that work for Benjamin Franklin Plumbing to put the covers over their shoe. It's just part of their SOPs. And so not only are they the punctual plumber, but they are the very professional and clean plumber, which once again, what's the avatar for that? The more affluent customer, right?
Don't touch
You
my shit.
will pay more. If you pay Benjamin Franklin Plumbing for your plumbing services, you're going to pay at least 50% more.
Yep.
Don't quote me on that.
Not 50%, but the point is, yeah, it's if you have to ask the price on them changing out your water heater or them fixing a leak in your home or them replacing a sink fixture, you're not their avatar. Their avatar, which the first time you actually said it like that, and actually I know some of the guys over there. So that's an amazing a dialogue, an example of the avatar of the book that is Ideas That Influence. Let's make it happen. Daniel, this has been awesome. We're starting to run out of time. Don't want to keep everybody there because you guys are in your car, you're listening, you're on your walk, maybe you're on your run, maybe you're doing the 50.5 million. I don't know. I heard there's 50.5.
An
Some-
ultra.
Ultra. Yeah. I was
There
like
you go.
50.5. Yeah. So that was my joke. Was like, if we do a 50.5 ultra race, I'm like, is that 50 steps like down to my mailbox? Because that's about as far as I'm going, bro. This fat boy is not running.
It's a big hill down there.
It is a big hill.
I know.
I work it
I
out.
bet
All
you're breathing hard when you get back with your mail.
Well, right now in allergy season, Daniel, how can everybody find you? Because they want to become a student of what you've talked about. They want to get the Ideas That Influence book. How can we find it?
The easiest way to get into everything, the Daniel Den world with the whole X Factor effect concept, is to grab a free book. Actually, it's available at bigideasbox.com. It comes with a box. It comes with the 5 experience envelopes that we alluded to today. But yeah, it's free plus shipping. You just pay shipping and handling. And I'm going to send you out the whole book, the whole book and the whole box experience. So bigideasbox.com is where you can grab all of that.
That's a good deal.
Of course.
That's
I'm
a
on social-
big deal.
That is an
This-
action-packed box. You get the little light that Chris won't stop clicking on and off.
I know,
the
but-
balls you can throw at people and
I
make
bet
fun of
I
them.
keep throwing balls at everybody.
Just the light
Guys,
is worth
do
the
it.
shipping and handling.
Right? It's
Just the
worth it.
light.
It's worth the shipping and handling. Just you get sticky notes. But honestly, guys, it's an easy read. It's an easy way to get into getting big ideas and getting your team involved. Love the stories. He talked about a
Well, you
number
say
of
it's an
great
easy
stories.
read, but obviously it's a great read because you've got all these goddamn sticky notes and circles and underlines and you start writing notes on it, a separate piece of paper.
Right. You should see my issue of War and Peace. I'm still on page 2. Right. I'm like, wow, this is hard. Boy, this is very
You're so
difficult.
much better if it had pictures.
At least
know-
you broke it. At least you broke open War and Peace.
Yeah.
That's a hard one.
Applause for that.
Daniel, we can't let you go because we got to keep telling stories. What is a favorite book you prefer to all of our listeners?
Oh yeah. So
That's not yours, by the way.
Yeah, that's not mine. That's not mine. All right, pop quiz for you guys. There's a young and he goes on this amazing adventure about life. And at the end, he's a winner. His name is Santiago. Which book is it?
Oh God.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Shit, I'm going.
He tries to go to Egypt.
Santiago, going. He's not tilting at windmills, right?
No,
I give up.
I give up too.
It's The Alchemist.
Oh,
Alchemist.
didn't read it. Too hard for me.
Oh
to
my
read.
So
goodness.
cerebral.
That
You
is,
have not read The Alchemist. It's my favorite. It's my favorite book. So
Why?
dude, I'm doing it. Why? Yeah, why is it your favorite?
The journey, the life journey that Santiago, and they only mention his name once. That's why it was a tough pop quiz. It was a tough pop quiz. But Santiago,
Clearly, we failed miserably.
he goes through this journey. It's all about life, and he's trying to find his treasure in life. And I've read it probably. I mean, and when I say I've read it, I've listened to it like 10 times. And probably cried half of those times while listening to it. It is it's lots of people's favorite book.
Audible, here I come.
You're doing it.
I'm gonna-
How you like to cry? I've learned
do.
that. Yeah.
No, I
well-
don't like to. I just happen to because I'm a very emotional guy.
You will probably
I
cry.
actually cried earlier. You know what? Jim Valvano said this. If you've laughed and you've cried and you just enjoyed life throughout the day, that's a full day. Enjoy your day. You know what? I was like, he said that when he was his cancer thing, right? The cancer, the Jimmy Valvano speech.
Yeah.
And he said a couple other things. And every time I watch that one, whew, down I go.
Yeah, you can't watch that without crying.
Oh my God, it's the best. All right, Alchemist, that was awesome. But now we got to talk about what's the favorite feature of your house. As a remodeler, I want to hear this. I love fixing people's houses. I love people's houses. What's the favorite feature of your house?
I'm going to say it's a proximity to Disneyland, Disney World.
That's close. That's a good guess. My favorite feature is we have a freaking palm tree, a massive palm tree in our front yard. So if I need a killer background or I want to take a cool selfie, I just have to go from my front yard.
Because you make everybody hate you instantly who doesn't
Right.
have a palm tree.
So I had a buddy here in Atlanta when I moved here in 2001, and he does his backyard. He puts palm trees in. I'm like, I came from, I had lived in North Carolina for 9 years, but it came from Michigan. I was like, dude, I didn't realize palm trees can make it. He goes, oh yeah, they make it. And we had this hideous cold.
Yeah, it's last year.
And no, this is back 2003, 4, something like that. And he lost the whole thing.
God.
And it was this incredible, expensive plant that comes from South Florida to come up. So palm tree, you're right. You're making us all jealous. But go check him out on Facebook, Daniel Den. Go see the palm trees. Go see what he's posting out there. I think I've seen that palm tree, Daniel. So that's pretty cool too.
Well, yeah. In one of my videos, I was just like, I need a good background. Okay, I'm just gonna use the palm tree again.
That's awesome. All right. Alan and I talk about this all the time. We are huge into customer service. I created a home service institute. I believe that home service companies have got to get better at home services all the time. You got to get better at customer service because customer service is it. But when you're out there and you're the customer, what is the customer service pet peeve of yours? Because we are crazy about.
And we're freaks.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Absolute customer service freaks.
Oh,
We're customer
I
service.
am right there with you,
Michael,
I'm right there.
cut
with you.
that. He won't, by the way. All right, go.
I said we talk about the fact that we're in the age of experience. In the age of experience, people have enough stuff. They value customer experience over the stuff that they have. That's why so many of us are spending our disposable income on experiences. So it's all about providing that amazing experience. And it's one of the easiest way in the home service industry for you to differentiate yourself. So with that being said, my biggest pet peeve when it comes to customer experience and customer service is pretty much any time I visit a tourist area.
Mm.
Because every single time I go, I am blown away at how everybody just feels like because there's so much volume of people coming through that they can get away with bad customer service. And then when you have the really smart business amongst all of the ones that are lacking customer service, when you have that really smart business inside of the tourist area that's got the 5-star reviews and like they're doing everything right, they're the ones that are like, well, everybody has business, but they're like super like hopping, like. And so my pet peeve is that so many tourist areas think that they can get away with bad customer service and they just end up hurting their own brands. And even though they're making some money, they just don't realize how much more money they could be making if they provided an exceptional experience along with their exceptional location, because that's what they have is their exceptional location, right?
So Daniel's in the Orlando area. We went down when our kids were in high school, and my daughter starts looking up the incredible Orlando experiences. And of course, I used to go down there quite a bit for work, knew that we wanted to get out of the tourist area to try other stuff. And what did she look up? She found this great sushi place because their reviews were phenomenal. And so we drove away. We actually took an Uber out of Disney World to go to this place. One of the best times we ever had.
Really?
Yeah. It was an amazing sushi place. Of course, I can't pitch them. I can't tell you their name right now because I was along for the ride. But looking back on it, it was one of the best things. And back to your point, great customer service will trump location. you want location, location, location. But if you're a shitty location provider, you will lose at the end of the day, and you will find out that you've lost money, because we could have stayed right there and got great sushi, I'm sure. And I'm not picking on Disney World. I'm just saying that we did that, and that was like the best experience we had the entire weekend we were there.
Well, it's a whole other podcast topic of how do you continue to provide excellent customer service when you've got more business than you know what to do with?
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
All right, but before we go on to that
I
good
like
point,
it. I
I
like it.
want a DIY nightmare story. I don't want to hear about a contractor. I want to hear, what did you do? And we love death, dismemberment. Actually, we said death and it happened. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
All right. I just want dismemberment, like fire and
Just an
pestilence.
ambulance, cops were called, something like
no
that.
death. But we had somebody go, oh well, this guy died. I'm like, well, yeah. So we're gonna skip that topic, bro.
Yeah,
Let's
well, yeah, I
not
don't
bring
have
us down.
death, so that's good. I guess good news. I don't have death. One of this is a not normally what people would share when you ask that question, but we were in an Airbnb in an apartment in like a rundown apartment complex in the Northeast. I'm not gonna throw the whole city under the bus because I don't want to like hurt tourism for an entire area, but it was in the Northeast.
Philly.
Boston.
And
So we'll
for
do it
some
for you.
reason, with the AC units, there was these massive gaps all around the apartment complex. The interior looked good, but there was these gaps. And so we found out pretty quickly that the entire complex had this rat problem. And so I went and I bought all the sticky traps.
And that wasn't mentioned in the reviews.
Yeah, it was. I think they only had one review at the time. And so we were taking a gamble. And so twice a night, I would hear the little squeaking and have caught, I caught her mouse, and like just the whole family was just freaked out. But there was like literal gaps to the outside world. And so it was really easy for these rats to just jump inside and like start going through the trash. And then
Can't blame them.
I would catch about twice a night. I would wake up and have to take care of the trap and go outside and smash it so that I'm humane and just get it out of its misery and then throw it in the trash. And so anyway, don't leave massive gaps in your AC units.
Don't stay at Airbnbs with no reviews.
And yet, if it
In
only
the
has one
Northeast,
review,
aka
In
Philly,
Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freaking.
yeah.
All right.
So,
Everybody.
on that positive note,
No, we've got to pick it up. Everybody, if you did learn something, that's on you, because ideas that influence the X Factor methodology, being creative, involving your team. Dan, you brought the heat, you brought the power.
He's going to send him a free box of good stuff.
You get a free
You can
box.
throw
of good stuff
balls
just
at
for listening
people.
to this podcast, bro.
You can say, catch my balls.
And
throw balls at him.
You know what? Send me back that video. I want you throwing something and go, hey, catch my balls, because that was the best. I wish I would have had that on video, because she was so horrified. And then I find out later that she's been a lifelong educator. I'm like, yeah, I pretty much got expelled, didn't I?
Yeah,
all right,
you did.
dude, this has been awesome. You guys, we spent some time. Hopefully you enjoyed this time with us. And if you made it all the way to the end, awesome. Hey, don't forget to go out there and, maybe do a review and follow us. Tell us your friends about us or whatever. I'm begging now. Fuck it. I don't care.
Why are you begging? We're in 15 continents.
We are.
Couple galaxies.
We're in the top 10%. Actually, knocking on the 5% door.
That's right.
I don't care. I'm not begging. You know what? It's on you. We're doing this for you guys, because we're just going to sit here and keep having fun. But it's up to you to implement some of this stuff. Let's keep going up that mountaintop, because eventually we're going to get to the top and success is yours. Let's get it done. We're out of here.
Cheers. Thank you.